Alright, the first stage of this knot is as shown. So just make a mental note of the over and unders happening in this knot here. Then we fold over here, like that, and then under, and then through this hole here that my finger is poking through. Alright, and this is the tie-off knot that finishes off the knot. But how did I do that tie-off bit? Well, let's find out. The secret sauce to the tie-off of this knot is that we create a bight with this part of the rope, not the shortest end, the longest end. Then we poke that loose end through the widest loop that you see there, and then poke it through that bight hole that we just created earlier. Like so. Then we choke up on that until it's nice and tight. And then as you can see, if I put it on my toe, that is a solid knot, a locked knot that's not going anywhere. And then if you attach some fishing wire to this loop end here, just wrap and attach it there, you use a compact sling bow to fire that wire over a tree branch, whatever, and then it's sat on the ground after it's gone over the branch, so it creates an arc of rope. You just pull that through, and then once it's down onto the ground here, but this is still in the air, you're holding this, you tuck it underneath, and then you pull, and you pull, hang on, bear with me, you pull until it's tight. Pull until it's tight, like that, on the branch, and you can pull yourself up. So that's tight, and now you can add a climbing rope to it, a carabiner and then a climbing rope to it. I wouldn't recommend climbing on this type of rope though, because it's quite thin. Its tensile strength isn't as strong as an actual climbing rope, and a rope is only as good as its weakest point, and the weakest point is clearly this bit here. And it doesn't look like it can take a lot of weight compared to traditional climbing ropes, so I wouldn't recommend using this type of rope, because it's just quite flimsy and cheap. But yeah, use a recommended climbing rope to attach to a recommended climbing rope. Don't use this stuff that I'm using here.